Welcome back to one of my favorite sports podcasts, Frizz and the Grizz, with your host Trudeau and my guy, Frizzy Frizz.
Hello and welcome back to Frizz and the Grizz. It's your boy Trudeau. Thank you for joining us live Monday, March 16th. You can catch us live on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook. Follow that Twitch handle at @DFrizzy_Frizz5. And if you want the whole show on podcast the next day, Apple, Spotify, all those good places, hit the buttons for your boys. Rate, subscribe, review. Today, as they said in the great song, we talking basketball. It's going to be a fun one, though. I think we're going to do a little bit of a deviation, less structure, more chatter, more fun. We're going to talk about don't look now teams in the NBA. So teams that are, on the home stretch of the NBA season, either going the wrong way, they've been strong all season and they're going the wrong direction, or teams coming out of nowhere, coming in hot back half of the season. And then we're going to revisit some previous NBA drafts and talk about some of the prospects. We can't quit. Can't quit that stuff. We're still in on players. But first, D, what it do?
What up, man? Happy Monday. How's everything going with you?
It's great, man. I'm glad you're bringing your smooth, soulful, sultry voice back on this podcast yet again.
You saw that? I was adjusting the mic, and I was like, I'm trying to figure out what I want to sound like today. Do I want to sound like this all show, or do I want to sound like this? So I'll probably go back and forth.
Option A, whatever you did
Option
the first time.
It's this. It means I gotta like be very intimate.
Yeah.
Very close with my microphone, which it sounds amazing from what I've heard, but I don't know if I could do this the whole show.
Remember when I was playing the sensual music when you were talking to the mic before? Should I bring that back?
That'd be a hell of a bit, I'll tell you that.
What's good with you, man? By the way, full disclosure, D's out in North Carolina. I don't want to give too much detail out. They have some crazy ass weather, so we might cut the short show today. If D goes out, I'm not going to talk about myself for an hour. So just full disclosure.
So it all day, and shouts to Houghton up north. Woke up 6 o'clock in the morning to a text. Well, sorry, 7 text messages, and it's just the weather breakdown. Hey man, look out for this. I'm like, appreciate you, brother, looking out for me. But yeah, all day has been tornado and thunderstorm watch, high winds, rain from I think it's the northern part of North Carolina all the way down through Georgia, because some of my buddies that are in Georgia are still getting that. So hoping that it's good. Some people around us, in-laws, don't live too far away. They lost power, but we're hoping that it just stays where it is right now. But if it does hit us, or at least the no power thing, it hits us. Not what we can really do about it.
Yeah, so full disclosure, if this is short say, it's because I lost D, and we lost the show. Yeah, D is the show. All right, let's just jump right into the basketball stuff. So yeah, as I alluded to off the jump, don't look now NBA teams. So teams that are kind of just going one way or the other at the very end of the season, good or bad. I wanted to bring up first, D, are you getting excited about your Los Angeles Lakers?
I am, but I'm tapering expectations because superstar-wise, as we've said it with any other team, if you got Luka, you're a championship team. If you got LeBron till he retires, still kind of got a championship team. And you got them both on the same team. And I know that Austin Reeves is coming back from injury. He's looked amazing since coming back. People have to remember he was on pace to being an all-NBA type player prior to the injury in December. He was averaging 35 a game. It was pretty damn good. Obviously, LeBron was out at that time too, so they were distributing the points, so on and so forth. But people like Rui have stepped up. Marcus Smart was the player of the game against the Nuggets this past weekend. They're getting role players to play a specific role, which makes them hotter than expected. And I know it wasn't the sexy trade, which a lot of people talk about. Lakers didn't do nothing around the trade deadline. Luke Kennard, it's not a great name, but it's a shot maker. And that's what you need around Luka. When he draws attention, you just need people to be able to spot up. And Marcus Smart turned back the clock. I don't know if you watched or caught any of the Nuggets game, the overtime game this past weekend. Marcus Smart turned back the clock, hitting some clutch shots. Luka obviously hit the game winner. They looked good. They looked smooth. 41-year-old LeBron's ass diving on the ground for loose balls. So that means they're showing heart. So the defensive thing is still a problem with Luka, but right now I'd say they look decent and they could make a run. So I feel comfortable with it.
Yeah, I was curious who they played in that 5-game win streak, and there's a couple of good teams in there. They beat the Lakers, Timberwolves, and the Nuggets this weekend.
They are the Lakers, but yes.
Did I say Lakers? Excuse me, the Knicks. The Knicks. Yes. The other glamour franchise on the East Coast. The Knicks, Timberwolves, and Nuggets. Those are good wins.
Big game tonight too. A lot's going to hinder on this run that they're on right now. They play the Rockets tonight, so that'll
They've got
They'll
a
prove
tough
it
run
too.
ahead of them too. They have Rockets in a baseball series, so 2 games against Houston. Miami, who's one of those don't look now teams who've been really hot. Orlando, who another don't look now team, and then the Pistons to finish the month.
I think you said this either last week or the week prior that they had one of the harder schedules to end the season. And that's, I mean, it's part of it, right? Like you can only play the teams that you have in front of you. So they'll have games or nights where like they're gonna rest people. Like it wouldn't surprise. I think he's playing tonight, but it wouldn't surprise me if LeBron took tonight off because of how that overtime game happened on Saturday. But if they come out there on the road, prime time ish game, 9:30 on NBC essentially, and they win tonight, like they're in a really good spot to get that 3 seed.
Yeah, I mean they're in the 3 seed now. It's really good for them. I still don't think like Lakers they have a chance.
Exactly.
But,
Yeah, that's why I say tapered expectations. But like
they've been good.
anything can happen in the playoffs. All it takes is a tweaked ankle.
If anything, like again, I don't want to discredit the Lakers and what they've done, like over this 5-game period to get into the 3rd seed. If anything, like the ramifications is not going to be so much for the Lakers' success towards the championship, in my opinion, but it's going to mean problems for like the Houston Rockets and Denver Nuggets, who now are bumped down seeds. And in my opinion, like where you want to be is avoiding the 4-5 seed as much as long as possible. Because then you're going to play in round 2 if you advance. The Thunder, who I think have recaptured the crown, is like, oh shit, we don't want to play them team. I mean, you could put the Spurs in that category too right now. The Spurs have been awesome over the past month and a half. But like, if you can avoid the Thunder as long as you can, that's what you want to do. And
absolutely,
Lakers' success is going to make it harder for teams like Denver and the Rockets to make it to where they want to be ultimately. No, they've been good, the Lakers. By the way, does Luke Kennard drive you crazy? Because he's a great shooter, but like the volume of threes he takes is not that high. Like he doesn't get a lot of shots up for being such a great shooter.
It's like, well, you got to remember when he's on the court, it's most likely also Austin Reeves who's on the court, right?
Right.
So like Reeves is going to get the volume of the shots when he's on the court. That's what he's there for. Yeah, he's a playmaking wing essentially. But he's gonna shoot that floater. He's gonna pull up and shoot the 3. That's just the way it is for him. So Luke is one of those like just be ready when your number is called, and he is somebody that can hit that shot. Whether he hasn't shot in 3 quarters or he's gotten 3 in the 3 of the last 4 buckets, he's ready to shoot. So I'm not mad at that.
My other don't look now team, just selfishly because I want to talk Lakers and Magic. Orlando, they were dead in the water.
They were
going the wrong way. They're looking play-in bound. I gotta say, where were they now? They might be the 5 seed.
They're 5th seed right now and currently winning.
They're losing.
Sorry, that's what I meant against the Hawks. That's what I meant. My bad.
Yeah. But I'm trying to look back at their win streak, and a lot of cupcakes. They beat the Cavs in the win streak, and they beat the Timberwolves. So the Timberwolves like head scratch for that team because they're like they can be great and they can be just god awful. But the Magic offense has really clicked. I don't know what it is. I know Mosley, the head coach, and Paulo got into a little bit of a tiff. I don't know if you saw that a couple weeks ago.
No, I'm here for it though.
It was pretty ugly in the media. They basically asked Paulo post game like, "Hey, another tough loss in the second half. It's a lead they blew. I think it was the Pistons."
Wait, was this the adjustments comment?
Yeah, they played the Pistons.
Yeah.
They were up at half by a decent margin, blew the game, and they asked Paulo like, "Hey, what's going on with all these like?" second half meltdowns where you guys lose leads. And he basically said, other teams are making adjustments in the second half. We're just not making adjustments, schematic wise, there's just not adjustments being made. So that was Paulo basically taking a shot at Mose and the coaching staff. And then they asked Mosey the next day, like, hey, what's going on with the second half, adjustments. This is what Paulo said. And Mosley, the coach, said, yeah, the only second half adjustment the Pistons made was trying harder. And we didn't do that. So it was basically a back and forth, like coach blame player blame coach, but since then they haven't lost a game. So like,
maybe they needed that, right? Yeah. Like maybe that is like something that like ticks for both of them, coach staff wise and player wise.
But they're looking good. I don't want to get too excited because they're losing to the Hawks right now. Another team, by the way, the Hawks have won 9 in a row.
Yeah, weird. And they, like from what I've seen, what's the kid? Sorry, I gotta find the name. One of the
first round pick?
Yes.
Zachary Reichardt.
Yes, thank you. That's what I was looking for.
What about him?
My bad. I was just trying to figure out what his name was. That was all.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, honestly, the Hawks are a team that I thought coming into the season was going to be lobbying for a top 4 seed in the East. They had a very talented roster when you included Trey.
Hmm.
Obviously, Trey has his defensive limitations, but like I really like Jalen Johnson. He's a like future All NBA type player, right?
Yep.
He has got a little bit of everything. You know, he'll get you assists, he'll get buckets. He's not a great 3-point shooter, but like he'll do a little bit of everything for you on the floor. Dyson Daniels is a monster with steals. I don't know. Have you seen the evolution of a Onyeka Okongwu, by the way?
I have not. I haven't really caught too many Hawks games this season.
Okay, so like he was supposed to be the backup, or like maybe share the floor with Porzingis as their main center.
Hmm.
And Okongwu's always been like, you know, an interesting player. He can stretch a little bit, like hit a couple threes, and he's a good defensive rim protector, but his game is like elevated crazy this year where he's splashing like 3, 4 threes a game. Like insane. Like this team, they have a lot of good pieces. And by the way, they have a potential like top 4 pick coming too this year because they still own the best of New Orleans Milwaukee pick. Now,
Ooh.
granted, New Orleans is trying to win games right now, so like that
Yeah,
pick
they're
might not.
still like eighth, ninth. They're between like 8 and 12. I know.
But they have 2 shots at getting a top pick. Like I like this Hawks team. I thought they should have been better this year, and like you're kind of seeing it all come together. And by the way, they do have a guy in Quinn Snyder as the head coach who like was renowned, you know, for his days in Utah and taking like the Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert Jazz to like conference final. Did they ever make a conference finals? Do you know?
No, second round.
Okay, they were always a good team.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, are you buying any of this from like the Orlandos and the Atlantas of the world? Like, in the fact that like, hey, one of these teams could actually like take this momentum and be a problem in the playoffs.
You're gonna hate me saying this, but I would feel more confident in the Hawks than I would in the Magic. Reason being is the Magic have a more veteran-esque type team. You got your Desmond Bain. Hear me out. You got your Desmond Bain, obviously the the big man that you guys have. Sorry, he's got
No,
no. He's got a brother, but you guys got the other
oh
one.
Wagner and
Okay,
Franz Wagner.
Wagner. Yeah, Wagner and we've seen obviously Paulo. What I mean by that is those guys, we've seen a lot of their game. And yes, I'm glad that they're finally getting to this area. The Hawks haven't. Your Jalen Johnsons, your Dyson Daniels, those guys, I feel like they're more of the unexpectedness.
I know where you're going with this.
Yeah, young and dumb. That's what I'm always going to say is it's those types of teams when they get hot, your Sacramento Kings from 5 years ago, you're like, we don't know what to do because like they don't know what to do. Your OKCs, they're just young. When you're young and dumb, you just throw everything against the wall. And then if it works out, it works out. Similar to like what the Hornets are doing, where it's like that team is so young, you don't really know what they're going to actually do in the playoffs. Magic, we've seen them in the playoffs. We've seen them go against some of these teams. And not to say that we have their ceiling, but I just feel a little bit more of the unexpectedness with the Hawks than I do with the Magic.
I mean, that's fair. I don't have high expectations for Orlando or
I'm
Atlanta.
not saying either one of them are conference champion like a
Oh,
rival.
yeah. I made you pick, so like that's fine to pick that way. With me, I'm not gonna push back. Like I still think Orlando's a better team, but on the Orlando side, there's a lot of variables in the equation, right? Like they're playing extremely well right now. They've won 7 straight. They're probably gonna lose tonight, but they're doing that without Franz, right? Without Anthony Black now, and I can't trust Jalen Suggs to stay on the court. Like he's awesome. Jalen Suggs is great when he's healthy and playing, but he misses every other week. And what concerns me is like, are you going to start the playoffs or the play in wherever you end up, reintroducing Franz Wagner, which like the Wagner, the Bancaro, the Bain, the threesome of those guys, they didn't find chemistry at all in the regular season. So you're going to introduce Franz back, and like, what is that going to look like? What is your point guard situation? They're playing Devin Carter like starting point guard, which is yeah, that's the face you should make when you get the starting point guard. So like I don't have much faith in Orlando because it's just been the cohesion this year has just been a mess.
Yep.
And like I can't trust anything as far as like continuity in the playoffs. Like on the flip side with the Hawks, so like you were mentioning, like they do pretty much have their whole team. Like Kaminga maybe has been in and out for the past couple of weeks.
Mhm.
But like their core guys have all been there. Maybe something's just clicking now. I have to check their schedule to see like, all right, is this a little bit of a fraudulent 9-game win streak because half the league's trying to lose? But there's
Isn't there, yeah, a good one against Philly. Looks like
okay.
at home against Philly. if we were talking about packet in
Philly's
teams,
going the other way. So
yeah, that I was gonna say Philly, Milwaukee, and then obviously everybody's beating the brakes off of Washington, which they beat them twice in this streak. So there's a little bit of like, hey,
quality wins there. Like
quality. No, I would just say Philly.
that's not quality.
These are the teams that they beat. So they beat Brooklyn, they beat Washington, Portland, Milwaukee, Philly, Dallas, Brooklyn, Milwaukee. So they beat Milwaukee twice. They beat Washington twice. But when you get momentum, we're saying that the Magic are a good team. They're routing them right now, right? They're up almost 20.
That's a good win.
That's a
by the way, today's Magic City night that got canceled.
Oh yeah. No Lou William wings?
No, apparently they're still serving the wings up.
Oh, okay. Well, if he's not making a guest appearance, then don't call me. But yeah, they're up 20. They're up 20 right now.
Which is, you know what? I love the Magic City promotion that the Hawks did, and like it clicked to me today that it's even more clever that they did it when the Magic came to town. So it's Magic City night.
Good for them. Good for them. That's marketing at its best right there.
Yeah, shout out to Atlanta Hawks, man. Those are three teams I marked as like don't look now, trending the right way. I had three teams I marked the opposite way of like, ooh, don't look now, but like Team X is kind of looking a little shaky down the stretch.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I put Detroit. Now, I don't think they're in trouble as far as like losing the number 1 seed. I actually watched the Detroit game last night, and the commentators pointed out like the only team that's feasible of catching them probably is Boston. And strength of schedule the rest of the season for Detroit is pretty easy. So like Detroit has an easy route the rest of the way. But like 5-5 out of your last 10, ever since that brawl with the Hornets, like it's just they haven't looked the right way. And that's the thing with Detroit. Like, do we believe in Detroit based on previous experience and previous data points?
Go ahead.
I would say no.
Yeah.
But like, and I say that because like, have we seen them have playoff success before? No. Do we know they have a bona fide superstar, which I think Cade's a bona fide star, but like, do we think we have a bona fide superstar in Cade that has proven I can put the team on my back and take you rounds in the playoffs? We haven't seen that yet.
Lately, that guy. And no, this is where I would have had more confidence. I think I'm going to have to agree with you on the Detroit slide. Not that they're like still not a contender for being in the
alarming though.
Yeah, it's one of those like head scratchers because in this time that we talked about awards 2 weeks ago, I was like, if by process of elimination, Shea keeps getting hurt, he's out because of injury. Jokic is injury. Luka is flirting the line. Wemby was flirting the line. And then by process of elimination, we're like, all right, so that means Cade has to be there. So for about 2-3 weeks prior to that brawl, we were all, as an NBA fan and community, we were boosting Cade Cunningham. And then since that brawl, with everybody coming back, your Lukas, your Jokic's, your Shea's, he slipped, right? Like he slipped in that like top echelon type of guard that pulls your team to victories that I thought he was going to be able to carry that torch on through that so that when those guys come back, you're like, hey, man, like, look, he's got the number 1 team. He's averaging his highest career-wise. Like he's elevated his game. And you kind of seen it go away, and that's not good. That goes to show you that like, hey, there's other teams that are catching you. Boston doing that. They got Tatum back, so like now you have somebody on your heels, and they just like you said, they haven't looked right since that issue with Charlotte. And like I said that a couple of weeks ago, that they're just not the same team.
Yeah, I mean, like 3-4 weeks ago, we looked at the Pistons and said, hey, like there's no dominant team in the East. Why not them? They've been awesome all regular season, and this makes you kind of feel a little hesitation about that point of view. And I just was, when you were talking, I was listening, but I was pulling up the Eastern Conference odds to win the Eastern Conference because I was curious, like, all right, we don't think the Pistons should be the favorite. We feel a little shaky. Where do you think, as far as odds wise, how many teams do you think the Pistons are the number 1 odds to win the East, and how, if not, how many teams are ahead of them?
I think they are, and I think they're a slim lead over Boston, with New York being a bigger gap between 3 and 4. Really?
Oh.
You think they've already been passed?
They've been passed by 2 teams in the odds.
There's no way that the Knicks passed them.
They didn't.
So they think that the Cavs and the Celtics are going to pass them.
The betting odds right now for NBA Eastern Conference winner are Celtics at the number 1 odds at plus 175. The Cavaliers second at plus 360. The Pistons right behind them at plus 400, and then right behind the Pistons by like a slim margin of the New York Knicks.
They must not be paying attention to what the Cavs have been looking like since they got James Harden. I can see the Dr. Jekyll or Mr. Hyde. They either get a really good 140-point output or they get a really bad 90-point output. Like there's no like happy medium with them.
Yeah, I mean with the Cavs, and I know we're not talking like Cavs because they're not one of those look now teams, but we have to be fair with the Cavs, right? Like Donovan Mitchell has missed, I think, like a week and a half in that period where he had a groin issue. James Harden broke his finger on his non-shooting hand. Like I would assume that would start to get a little better. I would hope as the playoffs come around, especially when you have the play-in gap, right, where there's a week off. You've been missing Jarrett Allen.
Whoa, no, that's not the play-in gap. Has nothing to do with.
Well, I'm saying it gives you a week of rest away from basketball, so like you can have a little extra time there to heal that hand. You've been missing Jarrett Allen for I think 3 or 4 games as well. So like they have had guys missing. They just added Max Strus back last night, so it's like
he looked good.
I can see a case.
Good last night. I'll give you that.
Great deadline addition by them to add Keon Ellis, who the Kings, one of the worst teams in the league, who would not play Keon Ellis, is playing 30 minutes on a team that wants to contend. And Keon Ellis has been pretty damn good as a spot-up shooter and defensive anchor on the perimeter.
I don't see that with the remaining games. I'd have to do the exact count, but I don't see there being an 8-game flip. That's a big switch.
These are not odds to finish as the 1 seed. These are
to win the East
Conference.
Well, that changes everything now.
Yes, I'm sorry, I was not clear.
I thought you were saying that like finishes the 1 seed. I'm like, they're 8 games behind
the conference.
Gotcha.
So
even still, that's a more of an argument that I could understand. Because where you were going with the rest with the injuries,
the rest, yeah,
and I'm like, dude, this doesn't make any sense to me.
Not bad. Yeah.
But yeah, if that's the case, no, I can't, because a couple of weeks ago I was talking about you get the same James Harden now in the playoffs. No, and that's you get a shell of himself when it comes to the playoffs, let alone if he's nursing an injury. So no, I would say that to me it's still Boston, then Detroit, then New York, then Cleveland.
Fair enough. Well, one of the teams we didn't mention in that grouping has been slipping down the standings. I got to check where they are now, but I wanted to bring up the Toronto Raptors because they were kind of like the Cinderella first half of the year. They were like a 3 seed at one point. They held on to the 4 seed for a long time. They're now in the 6th spot and they're sliding. They are 4-6 out of their last 10, and the Raptors have a serious problem. If you look at their wins and their losses, they have barely beaten a good team this year. Like their record against winning teams, I think they have something like 4 wins against teams with a winning record. This team, the Raptors, have fraudulent written all over them. And it's going to be like probably an embarrassing first round exit for the Raptors. And they're going to have to reevaluate their situation going into the offseason. But I didn't want to call them out as like, don't look now, but the Toronto Raptors could find themselves in like an 8 seed by the time the season ends, because they're, again, 6 seed now. You have Miami right on their heels, and Miami's getting hot. There was another team right on their heels.
Philly and Atlanta are behind them.
I would say watch out for Atlanta and watch out for Miami, because those are 2 teams getting hotter at the right time while the Raptors are trending the wrong way. But you when I said the Raptors as the darling of the first half, you kind of gave me a disgusted look. So like you're like, get out of here with that nonsense.
Never believed in the Raptors. They have 5 guys that play the same position on that team. So like that to me is not like, that's not a winning formula. And I think individually, if you had Ingram, Barrett, Barnes on different teams, I know I said 5, but it's just those 3. But if you had those 3 players on different teams, you'd feel differently about them. The fact that they're all on the same team, they all have the exact same game, and they all bring to you the same, opportunities and disadvantages. It's not good, right? Like you can't just look, because who's out there? Who are you going to rely on in a bigger game? Don't know. There's no guy that you're like, oh, he's the guy that's going to take the shot. Yeah, it's Scotty Barnes
guy to take the shot.
Yeah, sure. Of course. Like, and I know there was, Sports Center had a whole big thing with Scotty Barnes and that block a couple of nights ago. Like, great, you got good defensive wings, but at some point, like somebody needs to elevate themselves as being the guy, and they just don't have that on that team. At least for me, I don't see it.
That's a great conversation. We talk about Scotty Barnes for a second.
how we, I don't want to say fell off, but like you just
No.
brought 2 more guys in that are similar to him.
I think Scotty Barnes is still an excellent player. Like he's a top level, all NBA third team type, like ceiling type player. I think he's very, very good. He's a guy who can get many all-star appearances. Let me finish. Yeah. But his game is just, he's like the steroid glue guy. He's not a high volume scorer. He's not going to spread the floor, but he does a lot of all the things very well and very right. Defensively, excellent defender. Court vision passing, very good at that. Rebounder, yes. Can he get buckets? Yes. But like he's not a high level, I'm going to take the game over and Edwards type of like put the game on my back, I got this, which is like it's challenging to be a very, very dominant NBA team and win a championship if that's your best guy. And like my question is like, knowing how good Scotty Barnes is as a player, can you win a championship if Scotty Barnes is your best player?
No, you can't. And that's not a knock on the brother, but when you have as a season high 26 points is your season high, that's not good. I'm not saying that he has to have a 40-point, 50-point output he scored 30 in December. Like, I'm not saying he needs to go out there and have Luka nights, but you need to have a guy on your team if you're looking to make a run, which is why which is why I had low expectations for the Toronto Raptors the entire time that they've had these 3 players as their core. All 3 of them, sure, can get you 18 to 20 points a game, but there's going to be nights where somebody needs to go off for 30, 40, 50 points to get you a win, and I just don't see any of them having that.
Yeah, I think the Raptors need kind of like a prime Damian Lillard type player, like an absolute flamethrower. I'm going to put up 30 points in a playoff game, and Scotty Barnes will do the rest. Like this is the ultimate. This Raptors team is the team that should be going all in on Giannis in the summer to pair with a guy like Scotty Barnes. Like they need a absolute bona fide superstar if they want to win a championship. And I think again, you keep Scotty Barnes because he's an excellent player. But again, like we both agree, when things get tight in the playoffs, you can't just give the ball to Scotty Barnes and say, win us this game. That's not his game. That's not a knock on him because like basketball is more than just getting buckets. It's really important in the playoffs, but like there's a lot of other things you need to do well to win. And he does all those things extremely well, but he's just not a bucket getter. And that's why there's such a low ceiling for the Toronto Raptors.
Yeah, I'm again a Lakers fan. We brought in the biggest gap between offensive efficiency and defensive output in the history of basketball, and that's Luka Doncic, right? But you take the good that is amazing with Luka because he can go nuclear for 50 points. That's what I would want in the playoffs versus where that gap is much smaller, right? Like your offensive output is good to great. We'll say average to good, not good to great, but it's average to good, and your defense is good to great. But you may not have that big, like in the playoffs, your defense can only get you so far. There's no such thing as defense wins championships. No, it's just the best offensive team that plays defense wins championships now. That's how it is. So like you can't really have a defensive minded player as your best player and expect him to be an offensive type mind as well. That's where at least where it goes for me.
I feel like Scotty Barnes and the guy we talked about earlier, Jalen Johnson, are kind of like the Spider-Man meme where like Jalen Johnson's the offensive version of Scotty Barnes and Scotty Barnes is the defensive version of Jalen Johnson.
Yeah, that would be a good one to look at, honestly.
They'd be fun together. That'd be a fun team.
Now you got me over here doing Scotty Barnes contract and trying to see something for LA.
I don't know why we got so much into Scotty Barnes.
Yeah, he's not going anywhere. 5 year, 225 2 years ago. He's not going anywhere.
But like a Scotty Luka combination would be
insane,
amazing,
insane. Because you get the big body in the paint. You get your defensive player.
Two-man game between those guys would be amazing.
That's the name that I haven't thrown out there, but he's technically wouldn't be available until like 2030 area, unless you unless LeBron James goes ahead and retires like he needs to.
That's the thing, though. Like again, I don't know how we got stuck on Scotty Barnes, but like
we're talking about the Raptors,
yeah, he's a great player. He just needs a tandem that's as good or player that's as good or better than him with an offensive mindset.
Yes,
and BI ain't that guy.
No. Can I give you one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because like I want this team to be so good. And then I watch games like Sunday, and they had a chance to at least gather momentum. And instead of it being a 20-point win, that they were up 20 points, it ended up being a damn near 20-point loss against OKC, and that's the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Oh, man. Minnesota.
Like they are. I know you say you're out, but you talk about sliding. This is a team that was 2 years ago in the Western Conference Finals, right? Like Ant was on top of the world, and since then they've been so like really hit or really miss. And I think yesterday's game, well, I almost said last night, but yesterday's game was like a culmination of this nuclear that they have of Ant, Julius, and Gobert. Gobert, it's not it. It's not it, unfortunately. Something has to happen. It's not the coaching. We can't do the coaching again. Like, they just got rid of their coach, right?
No, he's been
okay. So Frizz is still there. All right, cool. My bad on that one. It's not the coach. It's this three that they have where I don't think it's enough. And I don't know how you get it to be enough, but like when you play a premier team on prime time like OKC and you are up 20 points, you cannot find a way to blow that lead. And Shea, I think, even had 5 points. He had 5 points, I think, in the first half. That's a game you have to win. Like he didn't get 20 points because I know he still has the record for longest streaks of 20-point games, like 100 something, whatever it is. Like he didn't get it until like his last shot with like a minute left. So like they played defense to shut down Shea, but they didn't play defense to stop everyone else. So, and like it became a problem for them.
I've heard a lot of things about the Timberwolves from like Timberwolves insiders, and it just seems to be a chemistry and buy-in problem. And what I'm saying is this: Julius Randle is the key to this team, and it seems like since the trade deadline, he's been a little unhappy about how it's been handled. Because again, we saw all the moves in the deadline. There was lots of rumors about, hey, are they going to trade for Giannis? You know, that's who Ant wants to play with. Julius Randle would obviously be gone in that. So like he's been kind of disheartened, like, you know,
distance himself
a little bit. Like he's still playing, he's fine, like everything's good, but like, you know, effort level defensively is not quite there. And then there's this theory about the Timberwolves where when Ant takes on the role of the passer, the facilitator early and gets guys involved, you see a little more life from the team. Your Rudy Goberts of the world aren't hanging their head defensively. Julius Randle's feeling more engaged defensively. Like the key to this team in the past in the playoffs is their defense, right? Because you paid all this money to Gobert to be a defender, and Julius Randle will be a better defender as well and step up. But like when the ball is moving around for the Minnesota Timberwolves and guys are getting involved offensively, it gives you a little more juice. Like think about like a wide receiver. Sometimes you'll just get him going, throw him like a little 5-yard snap. Like, all right, just get him a touch. Like get a guy a touch. And there are times where like Ant is fantastic and he'll take over games, but like then dudes are on offense like, all right, I guess I'll just like Ant show. And then what happens defensively? You're in this mindset of like, I'm not engaged in the game. I'm not giving my full effort and attention on every possession, and you give up dumb, easy buckets. And it's this thing where, again, like when Ant gets guys going early, this team has shown to perform better throughout the course of the game versus like, hey, if Ant starts getting hot in the first quarter and starts taking shots, guys just start not giving 100% effort on both sides of the court.
That is the effect of getting rid of a veteran player like a Mike Conley.
Well, he's back, by the way.
But it doesn't matter. He's way too old. That narrative has changed. I'm saying when they were in there 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
3 years ago was a little different on somebody's knees. You know what I'm saying? Like the older you get, the worse it is. So yeah, he might be back, but it's not the same. And when you insert somebody like I love Dante DiVincenzo. Love him. Love his game since he's been in the league. Like he was a key factor to Golden State winning their championship. Like I love the player. I hate the fit because he's not a point guard. That itself is what helped them be as great as they were when they were challenging and at the top 1 and 2, and sometimes 3 seed over the past 3 years, is because they had a guy that could just move the rock for some people that can't create offense for themselves. Jaden McDaniels cannot create offense for himself. Rudy Gobert cannot create offense for himself to save his life. Julius Randle is a ball stopper. So, like, if he gets the ball, he's not looking to pass. So now that is 4 guys that you're saying, Gobert, McDaniels, Randle, and Ant. If he's not passing, that the offense becomes stagnant. When you had Mike Conley or a veteran distributing type playmaker for somebody that is a score first guard, two-way combo guard, and Ant, it allows other people to settle in. And when Ant has to find out if today's the game for me to play make or today's the game for me to score, like you said, not only does it take other people out of the game, but it's hard for him to get into both grooves. That happened in OKC where he came out and was, I'm going to shoot. I'm going to get as many shots as possible. And then you look up and he's 5 for 20. It's like, all right, well, then let me try to get people involved. By then it was too late because OKC was coming back. And so he tries to force getting the ball rolling again. And then he went on another run of like 6 straight missed shots. And it's like, that's where a veteran type point guard goes, look, go off ball. We'll find a way to get you to an open shot versus you having to find a way to create one while thinking about everybody else.
Yeah, and I think there's value. Like, do we think Rudy Gobert is a good offensive player? Absolutely not. But there is value in just like, hey, give the big man something to make him feel good. Like throw him an entry pass like under the basket. Let him get a bucket. Like let him make him feel good for a moment. Because if you make him feel good, the effort he's going to give on the other side of the court is going to be amplified.
Yeah,
and I think that's the point. Like I think the Timberwolves have been searching for a point guard answer for years now. They haven't found it. They added Ayu Dosunmu at the deadline. He's not a point guard, right? He's not a first point guard. He's a scoring guard.
Neither is Bones Highland, and they drafted him 2 years ago.
So they traded for him, but
Bones was in Clippers, yeah. He was Clippers. They drafted a point guard.
They drafted the kid they sent off to Chicago in a dump.
Okay, so that's what
Rob Dillingham is.
Thank you. Yes.
Again, another
score first. That's score first guard.
I get it. Like the NBA has moved to a position where everyone wants more threes, more scoring, more threes. But there is value in having a guy who can be a steady hand, who can get everyone involved and make sure that like, hey, we're not just going to give Ant 30 shots to fire. Because again, when he starts 5 for 25 or 5 for 20, you know what everyone else has on their court in their mind?
I could do that.
Give me a fucking shot. If you're going to brick them all, let me brick some. Like, Jesus Christ, dude. Like, I know they respect him as like a super duper star, but at some point when you're playing pickup with your friends, if you have that one friend that's just hucking shots every time,
pass the rock.
And then on defense, you're looking at him like, all right, well, I'm checked out. And I think that's part of the Timberwolves problem. I don't know if it gets solved this season. And even all this shit we're talking about the Timberwolves, they still have Ant Edwards, and he can go into a playoff series and play 4 games and score, off 200 points. Who knows? But you know what I mean? Like, it is what it is.
That's the high and the low of having him as your super duper star is what you just said. But yes, that is the high and low of having Ant Edwards out there. And like, I love the player, love what he brings to the team. Their struggles are based off of his inability to consistently involve other players.
All right, I want to talk about some other players. Do you want to transition to our other topics? I'm excited.
Yeah, let's do this. Yeah.
So this segment is top NBA prospects you just can't quit. And this came to me because I was thinking about the other day. These are 2 names that will definitely come up. I was thinking about Zion and John Morant. And just like the 1-2 that draft class, there was a couple of years where we were so pumped about these guys. Now their careers have kind of taken a turn for the worst. I mean, they're not, bad players at this point by any means. But I was thinking like, hey, if you were picking today, like, would you rather have Ja or Zion like on your team? And the idea is like, hey, there were NBA players out there that had a lot of potential. They were, top 5, 7 picks or whatever like that. People were hyped about them. They haven't totally busted out. Like, they're not busted out of the league like, oh, that guy's trash. But they're just kind of floating there. And you just can't quit. You're like, there might be something left in the tank. Like, I want to take a chance. A team might want to take a chance on this guy. I have a long list of names. I don't know how we want to do it. We can talk about some of the ones we personally can't quit, and then we maybe can talk about like who you would rather, like, of the list that we bring up, like, who you'd want to, like, give the biggest chance to if you were like an expansion franchise and looking for something to start with.
Okay.
Do you want me to kick off or do you want to
Yeah.
kick off?
Well, you got the list. I'll respond to whatever you bring up.
Okay. Do you want me to just tell you the list of the full list?
No, we go one by one.
All right. The one that I'm interested in, because I just think he's in a bad situation. And I think given a different role and a different team, he could show some interesting flashes. I still like Asar Thompson. Detroit Pistons, Asar Thompson, pick number 5 in the 2023 draft. I just think he's not utilized the right way. Like, I get it. He's not as good as his brother, Amen, but like a lot of the qualities are still there. And because Cade is there as the primary ball handle, because Jalen Duren is there as a rim rolling big, and they don't have a lot of spacing, JV Bickerstaff basically takes Asar Thompson and shoves him in the closet for half the games. And I feel like with that guy on like a Nets team would put up some insane numbers if he was just like given the keys.
Only reason why, and I'm not gonna say like I would give up on him because he's still young. He's, I'm looking at, he's 23. Is this league is a shoot first league, and what has helped Amen Thompson, his brother in Houston, is he may not shoot well, but he can score efficiently. He's going to put the ball on the ground. He's going to use his athletic ability to go up and dunk on somebody, which now gives people the instinct to back up. When they back up, it gives you a free shot, right? So he's able to work on his shooting, being Amen Thompson in Houston. Asar, my goodness, can't say his name. Asar has that ability because he's got Cade on his team and he hasn't been able to shoot, right? Like he is I think a sub 20% from 3 field goal percentage, not good, while averaging only 8 to 12 points per game. You know what I'm saying? So like he's not getting the volume and he's not making the shots when he does take them. That's going to lower your defense is there, but like got to have something offensive ability wise.
I like Asar because like when Cade is out, he can rack up like 6-7 assists a game. He's still pulling in 8 rebounds, and like defensively, the guy's good for a steal and a half, a block and a half a game. And he's like top 0.001% athlete in the NBA. Like those are things that interest me. I get it. This scoring is a little suspect, but again, I don't know how much of that is a product of the team that he's on, and then like Bickerstaff doesn't like him, so he's put into like a very low usage role.
You need, and everybody can say who could put him on any team. You need him on somebody like the Knicks more than you would need him on any other team. You got the offense that you're going to get with a Jalen Brunson and a Cat, and then you get Asar to be your third. Did I say right?
No, I'm laughing because like the Knicks thought they got that guy when they got Mikal Bridges.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like you could have gotten a younger version of that, which is much more athletic than a Mikal Bridges, which is where you see Amen Thompson. I'm trying to get these names right.
Amen.
Oh my God. Trying, man. I'm terrible with names, let alone when we're talking about
Amen. And then
Amen.
Like dinosaur.
What you see in Houston is that you're Kevin Durant and your what's his name? What's the big man? What's big man's name?
Halpern?
Yes, Şengün. Those are the offensive stars for them, which allows Amen to be the third player, defensive problem, and score when his name's called on. Asar doesn't have. I don't care what you say about Jalen Duren and Cade. Like Cade is an offensive stud. Duren is a postman, right? Like he's not shooting from 3. He's not creating space. So you got to rely on Asar shooting more. So like, yeah, I'm not going to say I'm giving up on him. I just think he would be a better fit at a better place than he is with Detroit.
The only other player like that interests me, and I know I've been out in this guy already, but I got sucked back in this year. I got sucked back in because the games played are back. He looks healthier than he's ever looked. And like I saw his interview with ESPN. The dude seems like a generally good dude who like isn't an asshole and actually wants to make his redemption tour. I'm back. I feel like I'm back in on Zion. I hate it, but I'm back in, man. By the way, really quick.
Yeah.
I tortured myself and watched the Pelicans game the other day. He still has bounce. Like he still has that quick, like, oh, I missed the shot. I'm like off the floor before anyone even notices, and I'm getting my own rebound and finishing. Like he still has that bounce athleticism.
The talent is there. It's the drive and the fit Like I would take him in a heartbeat in LA. I just don't think he's going to get where he's supposed to be potential wise in New Orleans. That's what I mean by they got to get rid of him because there's nothing that you're going to bring in that's going to like Deontay Murray isn't going to get Zion to be at his peak. Zion has done what he could in New Orleans. He needs to be unleashed somewhere else because the 21-8 is explosive still. I like the talent of Zion Williamson, but I just don't like where he is in New Orleans.
How scary would it be? You said the Lakers, miss me with that. How scary would it be if Zion ended up in Miami with Heat culture, like extreme, like conditioning program? Like, oh my God.
Yeah,
like,
to a point that he still needs somebody else. But yes, if Pat Riley put him into the LeBron diet from the 2010s, steroids, but like don't get caught. Yes. Yeah, I would say that he needs structure. He needs structure because it was not there in New Orleans his first 6 years. Like, and that's what we got to where he is right now. Like, are you still in on him? He's 25. Like, he still has another 10 years. If his knees hold up, he still has another 10 years of being productive. So, like, I'm not out on him yet. His game translates. Does he need to be a three-point shooter? No, because he can use his athleticism to be a defensive problem.
Maybe we're misdefining being out this segment. It's not that you're out like that he's not going to be good. I mean, NBA prospects, you can't quit because you think they have another level up in their career.
Yeah,
like, so Zion can go from like he's a solid player now, like a very good player now, to like, oh, now he's
all NBA.
Top. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
He can still be all. I do believe he still has that in him. I've said I've given up on him. I give up on him in New Orleans. The process, like in Philly, is dead in New Orleans for Zion. But if he's somewhere else, and I don't want Joel Embiid anywhere, and honestly, I think he's done. But if Zion is somewhere else where it could be him and someone, like he has a co-star with him, oh yeah, that talent at his athleticism with still another 8 years left of production, I would take that.
I like that. I think we're on the same page. Can I give you a couple that I'm out on that you might disagree on?
Of course.
Jalen Green.
Okay.
I know you're a big Jalen Green guy. I think he's just okay because you defended him before in the show.
I did for offensive reasons wise, and then I saw him get moved, and he's done absolutely nothing that's made me feel good about him. Yeah,
I mean, for me, my Jalen Green opinion is cool offensive bucket getter, can get nuclear, can get you 8 threes a game or in a given game and just put up 30, 40 points. But he's empty, dude. Like he offensively, he's not giving me rebounds defensively. He's not doing anything on the defensive end. He's not giving me assists. Like he is just you know what his perfect role is, Jalen Green?
Just to shoot.
A 6-man spark off the bench. Like, oh shit, we're down second unit, just go nuts and get me 30 points. Like that's Jalen Green's, in my opinion, ultimate role. And he was a second overall pick. Like I think with the expectations of him, he was going to be like, oh, he could be a franchise guy and like that. I don't think that's the case. Like I'm out on them as like a starter, like top 3 guy on a winning championship team. Like I think he's more of like, hey, spark plug off the bench type of guy.
It's crazy you say that because people will argue against him being a spark plug because he can put up 30 whenever. It's just I know that they've won a couple of games the past couple of weeks, but it's more of, like you said, empty stats. Like I can go out there and if I'm going to chuck up 23 shots, I'm hoping that you get 30 points. You know what I'm saying? Like at some point the ball, and if you're that talented enough in the NBA for them to give you that many shots, you should score 30 points if you're throwing up 22 shots. That's where his problem is. It's all volume. It's not efficiency. He's got Devin Booker alongside him. Obviously, Dylan Brooks is the second playmaker, scorer on that team. So like, there really isn't much in Phoenix. So like, yeah, he does by process of elimination. He has to go out there and shoot like that. But it's numbers that are not going to affect anybody in an important game. Like I don't think he has that left.
All right, well. Tell just quickly. I don't know if some of these require a longer conversation. Jonathan Kuminga, I'm out on as like a franchise guy. I think he's just going to be like an okay NBA role player.
Yeah, he had a hell of a start when he got traded, and then kind of cooled off.
RJ Barrett, okay NBA role player. He's a good player, by the way. Like he does
Yeah.
some good things in the court, but it's not like anything that really like blows
I
you
think
away.
he's peaked. I think we've seen his ceiling.
He'll be a guy that's like in the league for 15, 16 years.
Harrison Barnes.
Yeah, he has a good game.
Mhm.
It's just not special.
He's another Harrison Barnes.
So I'm out. Jabari Smith Jr. Again, I think he's a cool 3-point shooter, big man, stretch four. I don't think there's anything else really in his game to level up.
He's helped. Yeah, but he's helped Houston. I will say that.
In a role.
Yes, in his role. Does he have a higher bar? I don't think so. I think then if that's the case, I think we've seen his, ceiling, if that's the phrase that we use. I don't think he's got a higher ceiling than what he's at right now.
Zachary Ricochet, totally out on him. Number 1 overall pick in the 2024 draft for the Hawks. He's one of those guys too. Again, very empty stats. You know what his equivalent is? You're going to take very much offense to this. Zachary Ricochet is this younger Rui Hachimura. I'm going to get you some buckets. Not, defense is like whatever. Not going to get assists. Maybe a rebound here or there, but like I'll get you some buckets. That's about it. Some threes.
I wish I could have watched more Hawks games to understand that more, because is he coming off the bench right now or is he starting?
He was coming off the bench. I think he might be starting again. I have to double check.
Okay. I don't want to be out on somebody that's only been in the league for 3 years, 2 years, 3 years, whatever it is.
Second year.
His second year. I don't want to be out on somebody that early. I can't do it, because if we're going to give, as many times as I've talked about people like giving up on quarterbacks too early in the NFL, I can't give up on a first round pick. So a number 1 overall pick this early. He's not it so far. You're right. But I can't say that I'm out on him yet. They probably did. They brought it. They got their guys, Daniels and what's his name? Dyson Daniels and
Jalen Johnson.
Jalen Johnson. They have their guys. That's who they wanted research to be.
This is his last several games, minute-wise. 20 minutes, 31, good. 17 minutes, 22, 21, 23, 25. Like it's just like he's just the guy who's going to play 20 minutes for them.
Especially because when he was coming into the league, he was known as an offensive superstar, and he's not really translated into the NBA game because he was an international player, right?
Yeah, from France.
Yeah. So like he was known as a 6'8" like wing that was not a defensive stopper. He was like an offensive minded player. And he's averaging 10 a game. Yeah, not good.
10 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist
on 40% shooting.
44% shooting and 60% from the line.
Not good. Not good splits at all.
For a number 1 overall pick. Like I know that was a bad draft, but like I just don't see it. The last couple names, I like this guy. He's someone I it's too early to say for this conversation, but I think he's gonna have a bright future. Alexander Sarr, the center that went number 2 in that draft for the Wizards. I like his game. He has some very unique shot blocking around the rim. He's not a traditional, I wouldn't call him a 5 because he's a little undersized, but like it'll be fun to see him paired with AD so he can be a little more free roaming. He's evolved his game this year to stretch more from the 3. His efficiency has gone up. Like I like Sarr a lot.
I like Sarr. I hate the Wizards.
Yeah, I hate
like
the
with
Wizards
a passion. I just think that like if there were teams that we should just like relegate to like no longer being a franchise, Washington is one of them. What's gone through that city talent-wise, like they had John Wall, ruined them, right? Like, like there was a time where like the whole world was doing the John Wall, and like they just ruined him, and like they find ways to get all of these high draft picks year after year after year, and do absolutely nothing with it. Like it's not coaching, it's not players, it's culture. And Washington, since they changed the logo from the stupid one that had the Jordan, guy with the W and the star, like they should just go back to that, right? But this organization is just trash. So like I love the talent in Alex Sarr. Like you don't come across so many people that are 7-footers that can protect the rim, still kind of put the ball on the ground. He's not Wemby-esque, but like he's like your Payless shoes Wemby essentially. He's somebody that I can build around. But he's not somebody that I can build around in Washington. Not with everything else that's crap there, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think he's just a real nice player. I don't think he's going to be number 1 on a great team, but like he's a nice player to have. Like
Yeah.
he's kind of like Bosch-esque. Not
I know
not
what you're
good,
saying.
but yeah. I'm out on Scoop. I had Scoot. I forgot to mention Scoot. I'm out on Scoot Henderson.
Scoot Henderson, I forgot he was in the league.
Yeah.
VJ Edgecombe is what Scoop Henderson should have been.
That's a great call.
Because like that's what I thought he was gonna be. Like I said it from draft night. I love VJ. He is by easily one of my favorite players in the league, and he's still doing what he can. He's not the same exact explosive random 40 points per night game that he, when he came into the league, but he's mellowed down to being the second guy in Philly. That's what Scoot Henderson was supposed to be. Like he was supposed to be a score first, just drive to the lane, pull up when he can, and create some type of offense. And they gave him the keys, and then he's still in the G League. Like I don't know. I'm out on him just because of pure like hurt of what I thought he was going to be.
Clip that. No, for me, like Scoot, he never developed a 3-point game. His mid range is not great. He's terribly inefficient if you look at his shooting numbers. When he gets to the basket, even when he drives to the basket with his athleticism, he doesn't finish at a high clip at the rim either.
Mm-hmm.
And like the assister, he can be a decent playmaker, but like again, he has the Zion illness where like the man has not played a healthy season his entire career. Since he's come into the league, he's missed over 20 games a season. And it's always hamstring issues, which is troubling. It's the same issue for a guy who relies on extreme athleticism.
Yeah.
And it's a different athleticism than Zion relies on, where Zion relies on the get off the ground, vertical, quick twitch. This guy's just pure speed. It's like a premier, speed wide receiver with hamstring issues. So like that's never a good combination.
It's like thinking Russell Westbrook having injuries when he was in OKC. That's what he like. His type of build was supposed to come into the league and was supposed to be like a Russell Westbrook.
Yeah. The last name I had just says the last talking point because it was one of the reasons why I had this conversation. John Morant.
Oh, I think I wouldn't be surprised if he's out of the league in 2 years.
Interesting.
There's no what. So, and I hate that. That's where because he was on top of the world like 3 years ago. But
ever since he was like, "We good in the West" comment.
Yeah, that was a dumb comment.
West.
But like, what market is there for a non-playmaking, non-shooting, loss of athleticism point guard? He's not a great defender, so it's not like you can rely on that. Like he's not your Marcus Smarts of the world. He's not really a great passer. His big thing was athleticism and scoring, not shooting, but athleticism and scoring. And with these injuries, he's not really either one of those anymore. So like, what do you have the need for him? Like his type of game relies on health. And now that he doesn't have that health and it's more of the lower body injuries, it's not arms, it's not shoulders, it's not fingers, it's legs. And that takes away from his game. He already has a terrible shooting form. So like, it would not surprise me, and this isn't me wishing ill on the brother. Like, I hope he finds a way to continue his career, but it would not surprise me if John Morant doesn't get signed off of his next contract. Or if he does, it's like tail end minimum, and he's just buried on somebody's depth chart.
Yeah, I mean, the problem with Ja looking forward is he has everything going against him. He has injury-prone issues now. He has a terrible contract based on his performance. He has off-the-court history and issues. He has a game that doesn't translate to getting older and losing athleticism because he's not a perimeter shooter. And then finally, his production has just tailed off year after year. Like there's nothing that you can really hold off on a ton of hope for this guy, except for like, hey, he once was
used to be
John Morant. Yeah, it's tough. I hope that John Morant has a resurgence because like I think we both are taking the approach of John like. It doesn't look good now. It doesn't look good going forward. But we loved the old Ja when he was cooking. Like it was fun TV. It was
he was having fun.
Yeah, it was fun to watch. And we hope he returns to that form. But like all signs are like this is not a recipe for future success.
What people don't also realize is 10 years goes like that. And he's been in the league since 2019. With him missing parts of this season, I mean, I don't know if he's out for the rest of the season, but I know that
he's done.
He's probably done. Okay, so like that means he's played 20 games this year. That would mean if we combine the last 4 years, he would have played less than 82 games. That's not good.
Who would have thought
And before you,
Who would have thought Zion would be trending more games in his career than Ja?
unbelievable. And like that's not a good thing. All of a sudden you get to year 10, you're like, good God, like Ja Morant played less games than Zion, and all we did was talk about Zion being injury prone.
This is their career trajectory. It's like
it's a roller coaster. What are you talking
about? Well, like Zion's career trajectory dipped down.
They went like this. They were like up.
They flipped.
And then they went like this.
Yeah. Well,
it's like this. Yeah, I'm with you.
We were so high on Ja after 3 years. We were so high on Ja after 3 years, so low on Zion, and I feel like it's flipped now at this point. Where like I have more hope for Zion in his future and less hope for Ja in his future now. It's
crazy.
I
don't have much, and that's not saying that he can't turn this shit around. It's just I don't have much for Ja, unfortunately, just with the way that he plays.
Last thing, so we talked about how many names, like 10 names. Gold, silver, bronze on guys if you were doing an expansion draft and these guys are all available who you would snag as core pieces. Like, I want to give this guy a shot because I think there's something left.
Can you give me the names on who I would?
I'll give you all the names.
And then I'll say yes or I'll say no. Yes, go ahead.
All right. Tell me your 1, 2, and 3. Jalen Green, Jonathan Kuminga, Zion, Ja, RJ Barrett, Jabari Smith, Zachary Ricochet, Alex Sarr, Scoot Henderson, and Asar Thompson.
I'm not going to remember everybody's name, not going to lie. But I Sarr is one of them.
Okay.
We talked about Zion, right?
Yes.
And I probably would go Asar.
That would be my 3. I would probably go Zion number 1 because the ceiling. I would probably go Sarr number 2 because I think he's still young, he's trending up. And then let's take Asar number 3.
Yeah, and then find a way to get some veteran or point a scoring point guard.
I'm glad we're on the same page with that. I didn't think we would. I thought you would defend Jalen Green and it would come harder for some other guys.
I've seen enough. And like this is where betting has helped because it's allowed me to watch more games. So shout out to DraftKings. No, I don't hit ever on FanDuel, but DraftKings had your boy up. Plug that one. But no, with being able to watch much more games because of being more involved with betting, I've watched and I've seen more Phoenix Suns games. I'm like, I'm out on Jalen Green, unfortunately. I was semi out on him when he was in Houston when I saw the flip of that team going more Thompson, KD, Şengün, and then Jabari Smith came in and was doing his work. So I was like, I think they're trying to get rid of, and then they did. I was like, all right, cool. Like that goes to show that you're not part of the plan. And once you're not part of the plan, like it's really hard for you to become that.
It's a hard thing to like get to casuals. Like, hey, getting buckets is cool, but like that's not what makes you a good NBA player always.
Yeah. I mean, look at Bradley Beal. Yes. And they're both on the same.
Why you gotta bring Bradley Beal into this?
Because I love Brad. He got killed by Washington. Washington ruined him. They gave him the next man up contract. And since then, his career has been on the dip. He used to be able to be a guaranteed 30 points. And then they gave him a LeBron-esque contract. And he hasn't done a goddamn thing since.
All right. Good NBA talk. I enjoyed today a lot, actually. Did you enjoy that?
Of course. Of course.
Okay, let's hit up closing takes and get out of here.
The show is coming to an end. But first, it's time to get to anything we've missed. It's closing time. 1 segment, 2 takes. Now go.
All right, it's closing takes. It's time for me and D to get off one last take of the day. It can be sports, pop culture, whatever. Doesn't have to be related to what we talked about today. It's just our time to shine. I'm going to go firsty, as always. I wanted to give a big shout out to the worst organization in the NBA. Not the Wizards, as you claim, D, but the Sacramento Kings. Shout out to the Kings and their owner, Vivek, and their group. So the Kings came into the season, D, with expectations. We got veterans. We got DeMar. We got Sabonis. We're bringing in Russie, right? We're going to make a run at this thing in the West. Spoiler, they never were going to make a run. But, fortune favors the bold, I guess. And despite trying to win, they found themselves first in the Tankathon lottery draft, right? Because at some point in the season, everyone's tanking. They want the number 1 overall pick. Well, these dumbasses, they had the worst record in the NBA over the past 2 weeks ago. You would think if you were a smart franchise and you put a good effort to be good, but you sucked anyways, that at one point you'd be like, you know what? Let's play the young guys. Let's play the draft picks that we had the past couple of years. Let's just put DeMar DeRozan on ice. Let's put Rusty on ice. Let's just throw in the towel and get that number 1 overall pick because we're so bad. Nope. The Kangs have continued to roll out their veteran starters and go 500 over the past 2 weeks and went from being the worst team in the NBA with the best lottery odds to now, let me check, the 5th lottery odds, and they're falling even more in that standings. They're going to be soon passed by the Utah Jazz. So shout out to you, Kings, for failing to be good and then failing to actually capitalize on your opportunity to get better. Shout out to you.
I was thinking, I was like, damn, Washington isn't the worst team in the league organization-wise. Like, what the hell the Kings are doing right now is unbelievable. So I'm in agreement with you on that one.
All right, I'm going to hit you again with this one. Let me get you
The show is coming to an end. But first, it's time to get to anything we've missed. It's closing time. 1 segment, 2 takes. Now go.
All right, D, floor is yours, buddy.
All right, so normally we go sports-wise, and I'm going to go a different direction because I got to give flowers where flowers are due. Everybody's got their man crush, right? Dwayne Johnson has been mine for years. He just is. The Rock is my guy. But there's one that is obviously a little younger that I look at and go, I'm glad and I'm proud of this brother, and that is one Michael B. Jordan. Not sure if you followed it, but the man won an Oscar this weekend, and it did so much for the community, that being the Black community, obviously, for people that were just celebrating and happy for what he's doing. I remember watching him and him being a fan of his when he was on the movie Hardball. A lot of you guys may not remember that, but an old movie from, I would say early 2000s about people, kids playing baseball with Keanu Reeves, kids from the hood, essentially, and they used baseball as an escape. He was a main character in that movie. Then from there, he moved on to Parenthood as a show, Friday Night Lights, the actual show, not the movie. Then he did his first big gig in 2K17. I know it's a video game, but he made an appearance. Him and Kobe Bryant, one of the better NBA 2Ks in the history of the game. Him and Fresh Squeezed Orange Juice, that was their thing. Oh, yeah, Orange Juice, Fresh Squeeze. And then from there, his career just took off. He did Creed. One of my favorite movies is Rocky, obviously, and the fact that they made a rendition of that for Creed through Michael B. Jordan's eyes of Apollo Creed. I'm going to be all that. I was Apollo Creed for Halloween. That was my guy. Then he goes on and does Black Panther, all of those movies, essentially one of the best villains in the history of villains from Marvel, being, Kumonga. My apologies. Now I'm thinking
Jonathan Kuminga.
Yes, now I'm thinking about Killmonger. Thank you. But I'm thinking of Jonathan Kuminga. Then he goes out there and does Fruitvale Station, which was a great movie. And then he goes and does there's another movie that he had out there. I apologize for not remembering it. But his most recent one that's out there that won him the Oscar is Sinners. I haven't got the chance to see the movie, but I've heard incredible things about it. I want to be able to watch that with the missus. And the fact that he won an Oscar along with the producer, it's a culmination of watching somebody do something for a very long time, and then they're at their peak. They win the most achievable item that you're looking for, and that's an Oscar. So shouts to Michael B. Jordan. I know he's not ever going to watch something like this, but just know that us as a community, it brought us together. When we saw Denzel win his for Training Day, he's the Denzel of the 90s right now for a lot of people, where we watch Denzel make movie after movie after movie and not win anything. Then he finally wins it for Training Day. We see the same thing with Michael B. Jordan, where we're like, hey, man, he's got great movie after great movie after great movie. Then he finally gets one, and it's for Sinners. So big shouts to him for that.
I was wondering if you're going to shout out the 2K Fresh Squeeze.
Of course. That was one of, if not my favorite, I think it might have been the number 1 2K for me. Not only just because of obviously he was in it, but the story mode for 2K17 was amazing. That was good. Just when you got takeover and both, you could control him or you're my player, and then everybody on your team just got. This is before the rec. This is before Pro-Am. This is before money with VC spending all this virtual currency. It was just you and the My Career story, and everybody. fresh squeeze. Like everybody knows that, and it's like that's from that game. So yeah, of course I'm gonna give shouts out to that, man. Everybody was playing that.
First of all, I'm gonna show my age in this one. Is like I tried playing the latest 2K and played the story mode.
GG's.
I can't even navigate to like. You have to like walk around a town like dog. I'm not playing the Sims bullshit. Like, give me the old 2K where I just click the button. Like
That's it to the next cut screen.
Dog, I took 30 minutes trying to figure out how to play a basketball game. Like, how do I get to practice? I don't know. I'm gonna be late to practice. I'm gonna get fined.
You got to schedule. You got to run over to the practice facility. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot if you haven't been in it for the last couple of years.
By the way, at some point, so Michael B. Jordan won the Oscar, right? At what point does Michael B. Jordan become just Michael Jordan, and then we have to say the other Michael Jordan gets the abbreviation in his middle name?
I was thinking about that earlier today.
That's going to happen. Where
well, you remember there's a commercial, an old ESPN commercial of like reservation for Michael Jordan, and it's like this random white dude, and and like guy goes to deliver pizza. It's like, oh, Michael Jordan. It's random white dude. Oh, and it's like, oh, not everybody can share the name. Like obviously it's a play on it, but it's like. I was thinking that today. I was like, when does he just become Michael Jordan? But he can't because it's obviously it's the international like richest man in the world, Michael Jordan. But like he's still everybody will know who he is by saying Michael B. Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Like that's his definition of that name.
Also, shout out to him and his mother or father who gave him the B middle initial because like it don't hit the same. But it's like Michael. Well, A. Jordan's alright because you got Stephen A. Smith, but like a Michael R. Jordan, like they don't hit the same way, man. The B's a strong letter. In the
not lying on that one. So big shouts to moms and pops.
Yeah, I gotta watch Sinners too. It's on my.
List. And like, the thing is, like I could watch it right now. I just want the perfect time. Like I want the missus to watch it. Just very very busy.
I got you. Well, speaking of very busy, we're all very busy. Probably gotta get going. Good show, man. That was fun.
For us, just talking NBA, yeah, I think that was a lot of content, and it was relevant too, especially what we got going on towards the end of the season. Oh, you want me to get up out of here? Oh, damn! Well, shit, say something. Oh, hey, for those that were here, we couldn't appreciate it anymore. Let me get my Barry White on. Let me make intimate with my mic. For those that were here, we couldn't appreciate you guys anymore. Whether you're watching us live on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch, please make sure, like we say, rate, comment, subscribe, comment, follow, all of those. It makes it better, right?
Double comment. I like that.
I might have just said it twice, but you can find us next day too. You can find us on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, wherever they're loaded up. You can also find us on our website, www.frizzandthegrizz.com. Please, please, please make sure, be a friend, say something nice. You never know what it could do for them. Make sure to take care of y'all mentals. Make sure to take care of y'all physicals. Take care of y'all chicken. Take care of y'all children. And we'll catch y'all on the rebound. Peace.
I'm supposed to be the franchise player, and we're in here talking about practice. Well, Coach, I mean, listen, we're talking about practice. Not a game. We're talking about practice. Not a game, not the game that I go out there and die for.